comics kind of go back and forth too.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that happening. The Rogues have helped Flash battle Grodd before. They've he's kind of got a relationship with the Rogues now where he kind of leaves them well enough alone to do their own thing. And like, unless they're really fucking doing something dangerous to a lot of people, he doesn't intervene with the Rogues because they've helped him out. Which is kind of a shitty way to be. He's like, I'm letting these villains get a pass, but
yeah.
But I mean, he's kind of like that. I mean, Barry Allen's got a rapport with Captain Cold and the Rogues that he doesn't have with the other villains, and they will help him out in major emergencies to save people or whatever. So they're kind of more anti-hero.
Yeah,
They're just kind of thieves.
I hate how those shows. It's very brooding. It's teen angsty. It's like, I don't want Oliver Queen to be teen angsty. I want freaking funny, making quips Oliver Queen. You know. I want my.
Well, you got to think the first couple seasons of that too. He was a brutal murderer.
Yeah.
He was just shooting people right through the chest with arrows and killing them.
I want him and Green Lantern to show up and find Speedy shooting heroin. You know, that's what I want. Now I'm interested in the Constantine animated series that's coming out.
It looks like they used the same animation from Justice League Dark from what it looks like.
It looks like that. Matt Ryan is coming back to voice Constantine. I mean, it's bloody as hell.
I think he's coming back to Arrow as well and going to do some spots as Constantine in the regular Arrow series.
I think it's going to be Legends of Tomorrow, I think. Which I like Matt Ryan. That's the only, like, the one DC show I like is the one that didn't make it.
Well, it started out really strong, and then I started worrying it was going to turn into that X-Files Monster of the Week thing, kind of what they were doing with it. They were starting to introduce things like the Spectre and they were introducing a few things, and the Dr. Fate, I'm sure, was coming eventually because the Dr. Fate helmet was in the house. Well, they used a different thing, but it was kind of like the House of Mystery where he was at.
I mean, you know, at some point Swamp Thing could have shown up, and then we could have had a really good Constantine Swamp Thing interaction.
Yeah, I mean, and then they could have dragged out the old Swamp Thing guy from the old series and had him do a cameo, like they did with the old Flash on the new Flash series. But
yeah, they could have done so much stuff with it, but they put it on NBC. On NBC, the only thing NBC banks on is, ooh, people are watching The Big Bang Theory, we're making money. Yay.
You only got to see You only got to see him smoke like at the end of the episode too. Like Constantine chain smokes, so it's like
Constantine he's a take no nonsense, surly bisexual chain smoker. That's what he is. You still got me?
Yes, I'm checking I got a battery notice, so I'm watching it.
Making sure your phone don't die.
Yeah, well, we're in 48 minutes, so if it goes at this point, we've almost got an hour in. So
yeah, but no, I mean, there's some TV shows like the one that I heard a lot of people bitching about, but I absolutely loved. Is this new one on Netflix called Big Mouth?
I saw it on there, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, God, I laughed my ass off. I was laughing my ass off. So Big Mouth is a show about kids going through... It's an adult cartoon about kids going through puberty, okay? And what's funny about it is the kids... so the boys going through puberty, they have the puberty monster. And he's this big, hairy, demon-looking monster that's all about getting kids to, like, masturbate and fuck and do debauchery. And at the same time, when women come into their puberty, they have a puberty monster who's female. And each episode, it's something like, getting a boner during class or first periods or something like that. But it's done in a humorous way on the show with the puberty monster. And the kids seek advice from the ghost of Duke Ellington. And there's one episode where Duke's having a party, and it's the ghost. They get the advice from the ghost of Duke Ellington, the ghost of Prince, the ghost of Elizabeth Taylor, the ghost of Picasso. And one episode, a kid thinks he's gay, and he does a duet with the ghost of Freddie Mercury. I mean,
Who better to coach you in that?
Yeah, but it's hilarious. It's hilarious, but everybody was saying it's not right. You know, we should have a show like this. I'm like, okay, if Family Guy can have a 5-minute episode of, puking, or that one scene where um Peter forgot to get Meg tampons, and he opens up the front door of the house, and he gets blasted with blood that comes all out of the house, and Meg's just like, I told you I needed my tampons. Or maybe it was South Park that did that. It was either Family Guy or South Park that did that. But I was just dying laughing at Big Mouth. I was dying. I'd sit there watching it, and then there's a whole episode where a kid, he shows how he has sex with his pillow, because he's at that age and he's humping his pillow. But the pillow is sentient, and the pillow gets pregnant. And I messaged you about this, and I'm like, how the hell does a pillow get pregnant?
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about.
So the pillow gets pregnant.
Occasionally, Spin writes me things in Messenger that I've got no clue what he's even talking about, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
And the pillow gives birth, but it turns out the baby pillow looked like the kid's brother. So the kid's brother had sex with his pillow and got the pillow impregnated, and it just makes no sense. And I'm just laughing the whole time, like, how does this happen? And then you find out the pillow was voiced by Kristen Bell from Veronica Mars.
Yeah, well, lately it seems like younger people have a real problem understanding you can turn a knob on. I always thought this was an old people problem, but no, apparently it's younger people nowadays. You can change channels. You can choose not to hit play on something like that on Netflix. There's loads of choice. You're not being silenced or oppressed by someone else's art. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to listen to the show about it. You don't have to listen to anything. A matter of fact, I recommend to everybody that at least one day a week you turn off all your shit and go out in the sun and look at the sky.
Oh no, the sun
look at
hurts.
the grass.
The sun hurts the beast's size, Chief.
I am old school, I guess, because I find it really easy to live without electronics. Like don't get me wrong, I love my phone, and I love having access where I can watch TV on my phone. That's great. I do it all the time. If I'm sitting in a car waiting somewhere, or I'm in a doctor's office in the waiting room, I've got my headphones. I can sit and watch episodes of whatever right on my phone, right from my DVR. I can watch anything on my DVR on my phone. And I love that stuff. But many times during the week, put my phone, like I'll tell you, I'm putting my phone on the charger and I'm going outside.
Yep.
And I'll just I'll disappear for like 2 or 3 hours, and I'll go outside and reconnect with outside and people and nature.
The nature spirits.
And my dogs. And I have a good time doing that. I keep a healthy balance of online and real life. Well, and I think more people need to do that, because everybody's afraid of each other now.
I'll go out, I go shopping with the family, I go to restaurants, I'll sit down, I'll turn off things, I'll sit down with a good book, and I'll read, I'll enjoy things.
You gotta do other things besides sit and just be mad at the internet all day.
Yeah, well, some people, that's their whole life, is being mad at the internet.
I guess what a life that is. I feel sorry. I don't hate those people. I feel sorry for them. I feel very bad.
It's like you could have like one person you'll see you could see like a post. Today I'm at my sister's wedding. I love it so much. She looks so beautiful. And then the next post, which 5 minutes later, mind you, the vows are probably still being done. But 5 minutes later, it's oh, look what Trump did. He's such an asshole. He's such a motherfucker. And it's like, aren't you at a wedding with your sister's wedding?
Turn your shit off. Have some tact out in public.
Yes. Yes. But, it's good to be back on a regularly scheduled format. We got a lot coming up here in the next couple weeks. Getting ready for Turkey Day, and then Christmas time's coming up. We'll have a lot going on. But let's go ahead and hit that spoiler alert, Chief, and let's talk about some comics.
Oh, yeah. We got the good comics this week.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! The Renegades are about to spoil this week's DC Comics.
So this week, of course, another great week of DC, and of course another Metal tie-in. Real interesting, because some people I talked to this past weekend said they didn't like Metal. I think Metal has been fantastic so far.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, I think it's the best thing they've done in a long time.
So this week we get Marvel the Devastator. And
Marvel?
Or not Marvel. Batman the Devastator. Sorry, I had Marvel.
Marvel the Devastator would be
Marvel the
perfect.
Devastator. We get The Dark Knight's Batman the Devastator. Now this is the Superman equivalent Batman out of the Dark Knights.
Yeah,
And
once again, what I didn't expect at all.
they're all
totally
different.
threw me off.
It's all different. It's all interesting. So this one, so you have Bruce, and we can expect that it's Bruce talking, and he's talking about Superman. Talking about how Superman was supposed to stand for the truth, the justice, a better world.
Yeah, well, in his universe, Superman had turned evil for some reason. Superman had began annihilating heroes and stuff, and
and it's kind of weird because he mentions in there that it kind of all stemmed from the fact that all the rest of the heroes said that in a fair fight, Batman would beat Superman, and it kind of drove him insane that people kept saying that Batman could beat him in a fair fight.
Yeah, in a fair fight, no way. just fisticuffs, Superman wins.
And he even says that in the book.
A completely skewed, unfair fight for Batman to win.
And Superman even says that in the book. He's like, with one look, I can sever you in half. With one breath, I can freeze your heart. With one move, I could break every bone in your body.
Yeah. And I don't even understand that concept because we know from Superman's past that he has to. He's even admitted his frustration in the past of how he has to walk on eggshells in the human world, and how he can never truly do what he can do. And I think it was in Justice League Unlimited, an episode of that where he fought Darkseid.
Yeah, and he said I always have to hold back.
I can't remember if it was that or if it was in one of the movies. But
it was Unlimited. It was Justice League Unlimited. He was like, I always have to hold back. I don't have to hold back.
Yeah, he's like, with you, I don't have to. And then he just went fucking balls out on Darkseid and just plowed him into the ground.
But so Bruce of that dark multiverse, that dark universe, had to resort to something drastic. He has the Doomsday strain.
Yeah. Which is an infectious disease, really, that can affect people, and it actually, from what it looked like to me, it kills normal people.
Kills them and transforms them. But he transforms.
They start
himself.
growing those bony plates, but then they die. It's
like
weird.
But he was able to harness it, and he becomes a Doomsday and kills his universe's Superman. And then the Joker, the Batman Who Laughs shows up, and I love that he goes, the Devastator looks at him and goes, Joker, I thought Superman killed you. So it kind of had like a little bit of a Injustice vibe in that universe.
Well, the Batman Who Laughs one shot is coming out next, from what I saw at the end of this. So we get to finally see what that's about. But the Batman Who Laughs said, no, I'm Bruce Wayne. And he tells him he's not the Joker at that point. So I'm really, that's the one, and they're holding it back the longest. That's the one I'm most interested in reading.
So the Bruce Wayne, and I guess he's able to transform back into Bruce Wayne. He's able to go back and forth between the Devastator and his Bruce Wayne, because he goes to the Daily Planet to find Lois.
Yeah.
And infects Lois. And
in the regular timeline.
In the regular timeline, yeah.
When he comes to the regular Earth.
And he even tells her, he says, your infection will take longer because you've been so long exposed to Superman's, radiation, but you will turn, but it'll just take you longer to turn. So you get to watch everybody else turn before you do. And then she locks Jonathan in a safe room.
Yeah, they've apparently built a indestructible safe room in their apartment that even Superman can't get into. But that's where she locks Jonathan Kent in there, and then she's beginning to transform outside.
And Supergirl, Superwoman, and Guardian have already started turning, because they took the fight to the Devastator and they got infected. And then the Devastator, he takes the Anti-Monitor's tower and flies up into space with it.
Yeah, it's like they need it for some kind of conduit to our world or whatever, for the thing that's got the real Superman tied to it. That's like the antenna for whatever they're doing. But I thought it was really good, totally unexpected. Like I don't know why I keep there's only been a couple that they've merged. So I keep expecting a merger between like Doomsday and Batman, but it's